Hey guys, it's May May. We are back with the album, and here's what's really funny. In the comments today, I was reading, and you guys were talking about the bags here, and I think we all agreed that they need something, and for some reason, a stamp set, like stamps just came to mind to me on these bags, and so many of you agreed, and I thought that was really funny that we all kind of agreed on this. Now, you might not agree with the way I'm thinking about doing it, but everybody agreed with it. So here's what's really cool. I'm going to do kind of a tone-on-tone thing. And my idea, I don't know if it's going to work, is to use some vintage photo distress ink and some stamps and try to get kind of a tone-on-tone design here. And what's even funnier is the stamps that I'm going to use were sent to me by the company that I get my stamps made from, and they are just sample stamps. They're really plain, like you can't buy them or anything, but they're just simple stamps. So we'll look at them and see they're just a stamp. They're just literally samples, so I'll show you. So for example, this is one of them, and notice that it's pink. Y'all, this is such a sample set. So it's pink because they were showing me that they could also do them in color, which I thought was interesting. And it's kind of a swirl, and I'm thinking that this swirl design would be really cool on this thing. So let's just see what happens. Also, I'm going to do this too. Let me do this before I forget. I just have some folded up cardstock I'm going to put behind this bag to kind of help it be a little flatter. Hope that will kind of make that happen for me. Now these are sample stamps. They should stamp just fine, but I'm also using some distress ink. So if it gives me kind of a rugged look, I'm really okay with it, believe it or not. I don't like this mucky stuff on my stamp. Looks like paper or something. Get that off of there. That was on my stamp pad. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Let's give it a go, guys. I don't know, do I want it to go like that or like this? I think like this. I'm really fixing to be sad, I think, because I can feel that this is not pressing. Oh, it did! It worked! Okay, let's do some more of that. It didn't feel like it was going to work. It really didn't. Let's bring one in. Let's bring one in this way. Kind of low. Press really hard. Yay, this is good. Okay, let's do another one kind of in this area. Then let's do one here, something like this. And then something here. Which way? I'll get it in a second. I think this way. Just gonna let that kind of go off onto that scrap piece of paper. Okay, now I want a little bit down here, so I'm gonna take this scrap and move it around. And I'm gonna try to get just the swirly portion. Just this little end portion right here. Okay, now then, there is another tiny swirl in here. I'm going to use it too, just to kind of fill in some of the gaps. You know, if you did this with a pattern bag, something, you know, a bag that had some little pattern to it, you wouldn't have to do this. But if you ever get to a spot and you don't know what to do, just pull some stuff out. Let's see, kind of on and off up here. Now, I also want to tell you this. The trick to making these look very good, very organic, is to make sure they go on and off the page. So don't forget your edges. That's what's going to make this make sense. So let it run on and off wherever you can. Okay, looks better, huh? I think it looks a lot better. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Now this would have been so much better had I done this ahead of time, but hindsight, right? So this is just what we're going to do, just like we're doing here. Okay, so it is not my favorite thing. It is not, but I think it works. Sometimes you're going to do things that just, you know, you have to do after the fact. But I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does look better than it did. So, anyway, let's close this back down. And just know that, I mean, you know, when you're looking at this and you open this up and you see this, it's not the worst thing. It's just not. But it, again, I wish I would have thought of it beforehand. But if you're making it, this lets you know ahead of time. So, go with that. Okay, the next thing I want to work on is this right here. So on this page, I had someone in the comments mention that I should incorporate some lace. And I have a couple of pieces from my vintage sewing haul that I want to try to incorporate. And I also want to incorporate another one of these pictures. But let's see which one. That one's cool. Now what I like about this one is it has journaling spot on it. And so does this Simply Stunning. But wow, that one looks good right there. We're going with this one. So I'm going to cut that one away and use it. And I'm going to go ahead and do a mat for it. So I'm going to cut a piece that's an 1/8 of an inch bigger all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I cut this out and then I cut this piece out. This piece is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And that way I get this border all the way around. And this is really, yeah, 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so I want to put this lace in here. And I kind of want it to run down at the bottom here. I like that. I think that looks kind of pretty like that. And then some kind of embellishment here, or maybe on her hat. Or maybe this should go, let me bring the book over. And this is really what you should do, is just bring the pieces together and look at them. That looks really pretty like that. I really like that. But I really want this lace in here. Let's see if it should be underneath it. So if I put it here, and then I put this here, that's not bad. But I need to flip that lace because the pretty side's underneath now. So flip this over and put this on here. Yep, I like that. And then I think I want to put some bling on her hat. So let me get all the stuff together for that. I'm just going to cut this lace even. And when I glue it down, I'll just be really careful. I'm cutting it even with the blue border underneath, not the craft paper. Get that little nick started, and then carry it out. I really appreciate you guys giving me so many good ideas, because I probably wouldn't have thought about lace until someone did. Until someone mentioned it. Okay. I'm going to put glue on here. Remember, it will dry clear. Just kind of get it on there. And I'm going to do it on these bigger pieces of the lace. There we go. Now, got to put it with that edge out. So I'm going to put it about right here. Stick that down. Then down here. Yep, I like that there. That looks really good. Very feminine. Very feminine. Okay. Let's put these guys together. And anytime I can, I'm just, oh, look at this. Oh, I'm drooling. Anytime I can, I'm using the ATG or the sticky tape. Here I can use ATG. And I'm going to do a couple things on this one for time's sake. I'm going to put sticky tape. No, I think I'm just going to sticky tape it because on top of that lace, I definitely think I need something stronger than ATG. So I'm going to run a couple pieces here. So that'll stick really good. And then I don't need that many here. Have you guys gone in and checked out Jamie's sticky tape on her website? I always put the link below. If I use the sticky tape in a video, I try to put the link below for you guys so you can go check it out and see what you think about it. She sent me some samples. I'm going to do a video to show you all the other sizes and stuff she sent me as soon as I get a second. Okay. Bring this guy back over. And let's center it. I think I'm not even going to center it because I really want this to show. So I'm going to put this kind of where that's kind of framing the edge. And I think that looks nice. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? And using those pieces, I love it. Let's put a little bling on her hat. So I found this pretty button. You see it? It's got a little sparkle in the middle. I'm going to cut the back off with some snips. So these are like wire cutters, and I'm just going to put that down to the base of the button, and then I'm just going to close my hand like this so that it catches that piece and look away as I snip. That way that piece is also in my hand, and now it'll be flat so I can glue it. I'm going to glue it to her hat. I could have used hot glue here, but my glue gun's not plugged up, so I'm just going to use the wet glue, which will work because it'll just sit there and dry. So there you go. Check that out. Isn't that pretty? It didn't need to. I don't think it needs too much. And I need to warn you guys about something, because a lot of people are asking me about, am I going to go all the way through this and embellish it? Well, I am going to do that. We're going to cover every page and do that together, but I don't do a whole lot of frilly embellishments. I really do more like this, just simple and classic. So you're going to see a lot of this, but you won't see a lot of shabby chic, so to say. But we are going to go through and do matting and stuff like this. So I love how simple and clean this looks. And then, of course, I need to leave that alone for a little bit. Let me close it so it'll hold itself on. It's staying on well. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do a mat on this side. And let's see. This I think I want to be a photo mat. See, I still have to cover all these pages too. Remember we did these? So I think I'm just going to make a photo mat here or here. Let's see. Let's do a photo mat here. I have this piece I cut earlier. I like that. Oh, we could make this kind of look like a Polaroid. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. So I'm going to cut another piece to go on it. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, so let's do that. And I'm going to use craft color for that. So if we do it like this, we get the feel of a big Polaroid, and we'll put it in here like this. I like it, I like it. But let's talk about something for the bottom, or either something in this corner. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I like it just like that. So I'm going to put some sticky down on here. And then put this on here. Like so. And then we'll stick this down. And we'll put it on here crooked. I really like that. Like a magazine page or something. I like it a lot. Okay, so you guys remember in my haul I had these buttons, right? And I love this button. And I think I'm going to do something that mixes classic elegance with simple. This may be mixing too many medias for some people. You may think this and this don't go together, but we're going to see if we can make it work. The first thing I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to tie a bow. I'm just going to do my bunny ear method. Just like so. Just to get me a good one going. I keep pulling the wrong piece. Okay. There we go. Let's cut this loose. And I think I want to put it kind of like this, with this in the middle. Just kind of classic elegance. And let's look at one other thing. Do I want to run some lace behind it? Maybe across the whole page with the ribbon and the bow? Yep, let's do that. I have an idea. Okay. I'll move this out of the way for a minute and we'll get everything together. Alright, I'm going to use this piece. And I'm going to take this scrap. This scrap of ribbon. And I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to use hot glue since I just plugged it up. And I'm going to take the lace to the ribbon since I know the glue's going to come through it. And then I'll turn it over and look at it. Now I'm using a low melt glue. So you couldn't do this with a high melt. It would hurt very bad, okay? So make sure you're using a glue you can touch if you're going to do it this way. Now I'm going to cut this away. And we're going to need to go back to the book. I want this to run across this page like this. And I'm not going to glue this down so when somebody puts a picture in, they can tuck it underneath. I'm going to glue this side and this side. And probably some underneath. But I want to leave this open, okay? So I'm going to cut this piece of ribbon at this angle. Just from eyeballing it. That's a pretty good angle. And I'm going to adhere one side down. And I'm going to use my hot glue again. Just because I got it plugged up. Okay. And bring it across the page. And because this portion clears the picture mat, I'm going to come under here and put a dab of glue underneath where the ribbon is. So I put a little bit of glue under this here because it clears the picture mat, and then I put a little bit out here and my camera died so you didn't see that. So I just want to tell you that I did that. And now I'm going to cut this portion away at the mat, not all the way to the edge of the page, but actually where the mat ends. And then we'll put a little glue under that lace to keep it down. You don't have to use hot glue here. Like I said, I just had it plugged up, so I just thought that'd be faster. Okay, now I'm excited. I want to put the bow on. So, I'm not going to trim the tails yet because I don't know where I want them to end. But I'm going to put a little glue. I'm going to put it on the bow so I can put the bow where I want it. Now put this guy down. I like that. Alright, I'm going to snip the back of this button just like I did a while ago with my snips. Okay, and now I'm going to hot glue it on. And I'm going to put the glue back here so I can get a good bit on here. So it'll sink into those fibers good. And I'm pressing it down so it'll sink in really good. Now then, I'm going to trim this a tiny bit just because I frayed that edge a little bit. And I'm going to trim this about the same length. And I'm actually going to tack them down a little tiny little bit of glue. Just so they'll stay. There we go. Now I really like that. I think that looks kind of vintage and classic at the same time. And the little Polaroid that's kind of neat to put a picture in there. And you got some little embellishment there. And we'll look back over here and we still have this little guy. I like this. I like how this is turning out. So that takes care of our bag situation. That takes care of our front cover matting. That takes care of the second page. And that gets us on to the next pages. So that the videos don't get too awful long, I'm going to stop at this point. But also, I'm going to take some time to decide what I want in these places. I want to talk to you for just a second. If you're making this or you're working this along with me, remember this. This is going to be a big focal point of this page. So here just needs to be simple, much like we just did with the other photo. You don't want to add any bulk to this page because of this, and we'll get to that. Then these pages really look good. They just maybe need a little bit of journaling spot over here and then some embellishments. And then this page could use just about anything. And don't forget, we still have these flaps we need to work with before we go to the cover. So we're getting close, guys. We're really getting a lot of stuff done. But I'm going to stop here for now in this video so you can see those few things that we just did, which included stamping of the bags, which is not horrible. It's not horrible. It's not bad. So let me know what you think about how this turned out, and then also what you think about how the first couple of pages are looking. So here and here, and I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.